Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back after a fantastic session on the next generation of cybersecurity, autonomous cyber, AI, and ML. And what a wonderful panel we had with those excellent discussions and a plethora of experts who discussed on this particular subject and topic. So, my congratulations to all the panel members for having such a wonderful session for the audience. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we move on to the next presentation of the day on a very interesting, crucial, I would say, a new subject and a very hot topic these days. Strengthen your data resilience against ransomware with money back guarantee. And to present on this wonderful, exciting subject and topic, I would like to call on stage Mr. Nikhil Kurgaonkar, Regional Director, India and SARC from Arcserve. Nikhil, welcome to the India CISO Summit. Wonderful
Hello,
having you here.
Soumya. Hello,
And
Soumya.
hello here, Nikhil. And I'm sure the topic which you have selected, this is a very crucial subject, very new
Sure.
topic, and I'm sure a lot of audience would be very keen to hear. But before you start, Nikhil, let me give you some good news. We are now reading 796 live delegates, so I'm sure
Wow.
a lot of people are expecting to hear such a session from you. And all over to you, Nikhil, and I'm sure it's going to be a rocking session.
Thank you so much, Soumya. Thank you so much. Hello, everyone. I hope you're all doing good and going strong. Uh, Quite a few things to absorb today for me. I'm sure you are also absorbing everything that's coming your way. I've been just part of number of discussions since morning. I've been listening to all that. Well, this is a different vantage point that I'm taking to solve the same issue that we've been discussing since morning. I'll just share my screen. Is it visible?
We are awaiting the screen, Nikhil. Still awaiting the screen.
I've shared the screen, please.
Just a second. I think let's just wait. Yeah, yeah. Now it is visible. Now your entire yeah. Now the presentation is visible.
Okay, great.
Absolutely.
So as Soumya said,
Okay.
the vantage point that I'm taking at this point of time is from a business continuity perspective. So the topic for the day is strengthen your data resilience against ransomware with money back guarantee. Um, there's a new term that is called cyber pandemic, right? Pandemic and ransomware. Let's look at what is the impact on BFSI sector. In 2021, the top ransom that was paid by was an insurance company, $40 million. Average ransom fees is been increasing steadily from $5,000 to about 200K US. That's close to 1.5 CR. Ransom costs are projected to $20 billion. The whole revered August gathering that we have today, everybody knows about this. But if you look at this as an industry, this is going to be one of the fastest industry that you could see. That means there are that many more efforts that will be going across from ransomware perspective. It's still one of the strongest and top trend for cybersecurity. Every 11 seconds, now this is a worrisome figure. In 2021, every 11 seconds, one company will fall victim to ransomware. And we've already been discussing about it from prevention perspective, right? And that's the vantage point that I'm taking from a business continuity standpoint. So one is ransomware that's actually creating havoc right now. You talk about 3 million businesses that could fall victim by end of this year if you translate this number of 11 seconds. Again, due to pandemic, there are a lot many changes happening, a lot of transformations that are happening. That is something that we heard today. If you look at just one matrix, right, trading through UPI, online trading through UPI moved from 2.1 lakh crore to 4.3 lakh crore on Jan 2021 on a YOY basis. Be it RBI or Indian or International Organization for Securities or NABARD for DCCBs, IRDA, everybody are actually issuing stringent directives. And we've heard about RBI becoming one of the most stringent when it comes to putting across BCP plans in place. However, with all said and done, there were still a couple of banks that fell victim to ransomware. The average cost of ransom is going up, but then we should also understand there is much more attached to a ransomware attack. The cost is much higher than that. Let's look at these some of the excerpts that we picked up from what happened since last March when pandemic hit us. Rise in cyber attacks between India, China, when the skirmish happened, almost 40,000 attacks happened in Mumbai alone. So Maharashtra Cyber Department in June talked about close to 40,000 attacks. Obviously, the target was BFSI. NHAI was hit by a ransomware attack. Obviously, there is no LAC between two warring countries when it comes to ransomware attacks, right? When it comes to cyber warfare, you don't have any borders defined. Be it Honda, Target, Cognizant, yesterday, Accenture confirmed a ransomware attack. Well, these attacks are evolving on regular basis, and you could put across those whole layers of security. Still, at certain point of time, they are trying to find out those cracks to get through. New Zealand bourses were down for almost 4 days. This year, particularly CNA Financial, paid 40 million in ransom after March cyber attacks. And then when you look at Kaseya, you call it supply chain attack, right? I mean, what do you really do when customers trust their managed service providers, and managed service providers is trusting the solution provider? Kaseya VSA, that was supposed to be actually managing the network, even managing patches for that matter, introduced the ransomware attack that actually went across to downstream of all these MSPs who were working on VSA. Arivel, who took the entire responsibility for this, actually planned this attack on 4th of July. And such is the case where during pandemic, when you start looking at when the response is slow to ransomware attack, that's where most of the people penetrate fast. And what's the CISO's perspective in all this? You're looking at significant service disruptions, right? There is brand loyalty and everything that possibly comes much later. But there is that panic mode. And the first thing that a management is looking for, how soon can I get back to business? And even when the data recovery starts, can I genuinely look for any measures that I will not get any more downtime further or any more disruptions? And this is something that I'm actually looking at discussing. We've been helping a number of our customers, and the solution that we actually propose and prescribe all the time is, with number of discussions that I've been hearing since morning, there has to be one discussion that I actually picked up from Steve D'Souza, who touched upon briefly on BCP from ICICI Lombard, right? One of the panel discussions. There has to be a convergence of data security and data protection when you look at of that sort. Protection from business continuity perspective. You could have perimeter defense, vulnerability detection and management, SIM, log management, personal IDAM. You could even put across honeypots for that matter. But at the end of it, if all these layers of security, if they get penetrated, then finally data is on its own to protect itself. So is there anything that we can possibly suggest? We look at a multi-layered approach. You can't have cybersecurity solutions and disaster recovery solutions, right? Put across in two different buckets, two different silos. That's been the case. Everybody who discusses cybersecurity is not really touching upon the business continuity solutions of sorts, right? But it can actually do a world of good if at all we consider that as part of the plan when you are designing this entire cybersecurity solution, right? And the whole idea working with Sophos that we've been working for last couple of years, it's not just to prevent a ransomware attack, but to protect from it in future and even immunize the system. And I don't say this just because I've been paid to say this. We actually won Cybersecurity Excellence Award back in 2020. We beat some of the coolest cybersecurity vendors that were available in the space at that point of time. Even this year, Cyber Defense Magazine announced us to be the Global InfoSec Award winner during RSA conference in 2021. And finally, who are we? So from Arcserve perspective, you must have heard of CA data protection. We were present in India. We've been present in India since 1997. In fact, with StorageCraft, merging with Arcserve earlier this year, we are the top 5 business continuity leader in the world. We work on protect the priceless digital assets, that's data for all the organizations. Arcserve itself was always a leader in terms of data protection. We were the most experienced vendor since we started from 1983. Almost 70,000 odd customers trust us across the globe within 150 countries. Again, if you look at from StorageCraft perspective, established in 2003, about 10,000 odd MSPs and close to 160,000 odd customers. What is interesting to see here is we are invested heavily in India. We have our own global R&D as well as support center that operates out of Hyderabad, and we've been growing. So again, when you look at ransomware prevention, we say that you actually require a multimodal strategy. You don't have really silver bullets to cull the vampire here. You need to have cybersecurity solutions put in place. Anything and everything that we discussed today, from a complete cybersecurity solution perspective, whether it is IDAM or privileged access management, and the whole suite, right? But at the end of it, you should also look for the second pillar is on orchestrated recovery perspective. When a full-fledged ransomware attack happens on an organization, and we've been actually seeing quite a few of our customers who we have been helping regularly, you got to actually end up having one good copy of data. And that's possible through secure backup and disaster recovery solutions. So that's something that you can actually recover from. And you can't really wait for days here, right? The business will always suffer. Something that happened in most of the attacks where business was down for a long, long time. And that's a disruption that people can't really expect. And what we prescribe as a solution is the 3-2-1-1 rule, right? 3 copies of data, 2 on-premise, possibly on different media. Either it is tape or immutable storage perfectly works fine. 1 off-site, could be in cloud or in a disaster recovery site, and 1 on immutable storage. Now, why immutable storage? Immutable storage is the one that once the data is written on this storage, it cannot be tampered with. It remains unaltered, even in the middle of a full-fledged ransomware attack. And this remains to be the fastest way that you can recover from. An air-gap copy that is available from tapes, you will still take time to recover from that. 100 TB data for a BFSI company that we recovered took almost 8 to 10 days to recover, depending on what sort of LTOs you have. And finally, when you look at processes are also important. I think everybody discussed about it. An innocuous looking mail can actually start the dominoes effect. You should also have disaster recovery exercises that should be carried out regularly. We have something called assured recovery with Arcserve, which ensures that we will keep on checking all the vulnerabilities to make sure that that one good copy of data that you need to recover is always available on your fingertips. And finally, we also have all of our solutions with multi-factor authentication, another layer of security that is required, apart from the encryption that we have, whether we have the data either at rest or in motion. And just a brief overview of the Arcserve product portfolio. As you can see, this is the whole 9 yards of data protection that we discuss. Right from cloud solutions that you have that are obviously great from MSP's perspective. Also, solutions that we have are our own cloud. When you look at the solutions that you see on the lower strata of the smaller business, they can be used in branches for most of the larger banks. That's something that we've been deploying on a regular basis. Arcserve UDP remains to be our flagship solution, the software solution that we have. Arcserve Backup is meant for your tape out, which is an air-gap copy that is also recommended nowadays. But from the endpoint perspective, the Office 365, from cloud perspective, the hybrid cloud approach that we take, or the whole range of appliances that we have, whether it is the 4000 series appliance or 5000 series immutable storage appliances, can be used for archiving your file and folder on the 4000 series. the all-flash devices of 5000 series could be the fastest way to recover from a cyber attack, where a good copy of data, even if an appliance goes down, which is with extra security, that's something that can be always be looked at very strongly. This is the 9000 series is the fourth generation appliance that we have. We also have X series that has been launched, that we are seeing in BFSI space. A 1 petabyte of usable space is giving you close to 7 to 8 petabytes of effective space available on this appliance. And finally, when you look at continuous availability, that's something that has been going across in most of the banks. In fact, if you see Swift applications, we have more than 50 banks who are using Arcserve RHA solution, or continuous availability solution, which is basically the replication, a continuous availability between two sites that could be maintained. So if you see, the whole 9 yards has got the whole broad functionality of all the solutions set, be it from small business to large enterprise customers, banks, governments. Everybody is seem to be getting hang of all these solutions. And the number of customers that we are seeing now more or less talk about whether we can have this 3-2-1-1 ideology put in place so that we can ensure that we can really protect our data. We actually, again, support a huge workload. These are a snapshot of workloads that we manage in your data centers. And when you see in the middle, there is Arcserve, either software or an appliance form factor that you have that will be secured by Sophos Intercept X. There's an EDR solution that's available from Sophos. Again, has deep learning, one of the new age technologies that's been developed. But then apart from that, so when you secure, it's kind of a lock and key mechanism that you're putting across an appliance. But on the top of it, when you look at an immutable storage, that will keep another copy of data. And all the hyperscalers that we manage today, that we work with, whether you have to take backups in any of these hyperscalers, or even do replication of data, or to just set up disaster recovery. Even the cloud Wasabi is something that we have been managing well. And this is, so at the end of it all, it's the end-to-end solution that we are discussing between Arcserve and StorageCraft, with its hardware, software, endpoint protection, immutable copy of data, offsite copies. Since we've been working and we've been seeing all these vulnerabilities that we've been managing, and everything that is now kind of working as a well-oiled structure, we've now gone ahead and even talked about a money-back guarantee, a skin in the game. We really understand what a customer goes through when a ransomware attack happens, right? We will ensure one good copy of data or a money-back guarantee. That comes from the highest authority of Arcserve, right? And all this to make sure the business must go on, right? So thank you so much for listening to me. I know it was a short time of 20 minutes. I couldn't cover much, but this is what I had to present today to all of you. You can reach out to us on our WhatsApp number. You have this QR code that you could possibly scan, or write to us on marketing-india@arcserve.com, where we can really explain to you how do we solve issues for our customers today, right? That's of data protection, and make sure that we keep our data intact for all of our customers. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Nikhil. I think that was a fantastic presentation from your end. And please reach out to Nikhil and Team Arcserve for any further inquiries which you have regarding their solutions and the products, and how their solutions and products can help your organization benefit in a cybersecurity threat environment. Thank you so much once again, Nikhil. Wonderful having you here. And I'm pretty sure that I'm going to see you again next year with the next annual edition of the India CISO Summit. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful day. Take care and bye bye.
Thank you so much, guys. Have a good one.